Well, guys, I didn't think I'd have to talk about Matt Hancock on TV again, but it seems I've got to, because some of what he said last night is worth going over, as people seem to think he was being genuine. Some might have seen that he tried to apologise, while also not apologising for any of what he should be begging forgiveness for, so let's go through a bit of it now.
In a way, lots of the campmates ask questions that the public have got as well, and it's only respectful to just give completely straight and truthful answers.
Well, Matt the Prat, let me tell you now, the tame questions you get asked here ain't jack diddly squat compared to the questions the general public might ask you. In fact, I'm sure if 100 members of the public got a chance to stand in front of you, the question they asked would make your arsehole pucker up tighter than a snare drum. He's out of his mind if he thinks what people will hear now is good enough for many of the people out there.
So what's the plan? Come out of here, write a book.
Well, I've just finished a book, Pandemic Diaries. Yeah. That's what it says on the tin.
How warts and all is it?
Totally tells the story straight.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Needs telling. And also, there's going to be an inquiry that will tell the story straight as well.
So are these Bush Tucker trials practice for your big trial?
Jill Scott.
Well, there's a nice little joke there, but him laughing at it should tell you there'll never be a trial and he bloody knows it. But I've got to say, if it looks like bullshit and smells like bullshit, then it probably is, and I gotta call bullshit on what he said during that clip. Firstly, he plugs his cringe book before claiming it will tell the old truth. This, we know, is a complete lie, not only because he's a politician, but because he can't tell the old truth, and that's for a few reasons. One reason being he can't tell the old truth is because the public will be onto him and most other politicians if he did. Their actions over the past 2 years have destroyed people's lives, stopped them seeing family and all sorts of shit like that. If he told the old truth about it, there would be uproar on a scale never before seen. Secondly, he can't tell the old truth as being in government means classified information he cannot disclose under the Official Secrets Act. If anyone thinks he's gonna tell the truth, warts and all, then I want whatever you're smoking, because it wouldn't just expose him for all wrongdoing, it would implicate many in all that literally went on. This means it's never gonna happen, and is why I can say he's full of shit about his book. After that, though, he talks about the public inquiry, which he claims will tell the old truth.
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
Yeah, the public inquiry will be an epic waste of time and money because it won't get down to the real issues and instead will blame people who can't be punished for it and then it'll all be forgotten. This I've said before, so there's not much point in even dwelling on that.
You got a lockdown fine, didn't you?
No, of course I didn't.
I thought you broke lockdown rules.
No, I did not.
All right,
I didn't break
Tiger.
any.
You were socialising someone outside of your household.
Yeah, I didn't break any laws. Guidance is different, but anyway, I don't want to go.
Oh, so there's a rule and there's a law.
Guidance.
The guidance is guidance.
Right.
But the problem was it was my guidance.
Exactly.
That's why. So
Why did you break your own guidance?
because
It's guidance.
it was a mistake because I fell in love with somebody and we
And
all
I
know
was
what
taken by
happened.
love.
Well, it's true.
Well, that there is one of the best clips you'll ever see because while refuting accusations of criminality, he gets defensive and admits guidance ain't law. This I've done videos on before, but never forget the arsewipe deliberately misrepresented guidance as law to bully and coerce people into following his deranged anti-health measures. Hearing him use that as an excuse should be a reason why people never offer the forgiveness this fuckpig actually wants.
Do you have regret regarding the way that, as health minister, you dealt with the pandemic as a whole?
So the pandemic as a whole, no, I'm much more robust in my defence of it because
Even when PPE with carers
Yeah.
and with old people's homes?
yeah. So PPE, for instance, you know, I know, of course, I saw what happened to it, but that's because we suddenly needed masses more PPE, and so did everybody else in the world. And care homes, there's reasons for the decisions that were taken. And ultimately, those problems were caused by the virus, not the people who were trying to solve the problem.
Well, guys, there you hear it. He's not sorry for the way he handles his time as Health Secretary. He's not sorry he stopped people going to funerals, and he's really not sorry he demanded people stay at home to save a health service that's meant to save us. Oh, and of course, he ain't sorry he stopped people seeing their dying loved ones in hospital.
Deserve to boil in hell's everlasting sulphur.
No, as you heard, he just made excuse after excuse, which is bad enough, but later on he makes it even worse. I mean, imagine blaming a virus for choices you made that you didn't need to make. It's not like he made one mistake when they say that they didn't know anything. He literally made many mistakes and kept making them even as people told him to stop. Shit, this clown dismissed herd immunity in Parliament and got thoroughly mocked for it by Sir Desmond Swain.
Desmond Swain?
Speaker, if you were to ask a scientist, how do you stop a virus that spreads through human contact? Do not be surprised if he answers telling you that you must stop human contact as far as possible. It falls to us, however, to decide whether the price is worth paying in terms of the misery and unemployment that it generates. A generation marred in their life chances, mind-boggling borrowing that we will have to repay over years, which will diminish proper investment in public services and industry. All that, and for what? The Secretary of State has told us this week that the average number of deaths is consistent with the long-term average for this time of year. 1,600 people die every day, but COVID is by no means chief amongst their killers. And it's no good to say that, well, every other jurisdiction in the world is following basically the same policy. That would strike me as herd stupidity. And speaking of herds, I understand that a number of ministers have questioned the existence of herd immunity, which is odd, given that a successful vaccine programme relies on herd immunity, and that is the basket into which the government has placed all its eggs. Throw into this mix, Madam Deputy Speaker, the fact that we appear to be determined to claim every possible death as a COVID death, as if we were in some sort of international league and competition.
Oh yeah, he actually did that, but him fobbing off the blame for the care home scandal really epitomises what a contemptible tosspot this guy really is. In fact, I'm sure you already bloody knew that.
Tomorrow is another day.
And I think that's we've covered everything.
Yeah.
We should stop. What I do appreciate is that you did eat a sheep's vagina for us. And life isn't black and white, and we are all fallible, and we all up. It was the elephant in the room, wasn't it? And I was glad that he said it, and a line should be drawn beneath it, and the elephant has departed.
Well, there you see his fellow idiots on this show making out like them excuses are good enough. I can say they ain't, and I bet a lot of people will agree with me on that one. A line has not been drawn for the public, and there are 100 elephants still standing in the room waiting to be noticed. In fact, I really hope she was paid to say that in order to further some agenda, because if not, she's a bloody idiot, plain and simple. None of what he said was genuine, and if they can't see that, then all I can say is bloody wow. But you know what, it don't get any better, because now we get to the absolute cringe fest of it all.
Well done. Well done.
Do you know what it is, actually? What I'm really looking for is a bit of forgiveness.
What I'm really looking for is a bit of forgiveness.
Don't piss in my pocket and tell me it's raining.
Oh yeah, the snivelling shitweasel claimed he went in there to get forgiveness, despite claiming he was going in there to raise awareness of dyslexia or something like that literally a week ago. That cringe-inducing clip there is likely the biggest lie he's ever told, because in all honesty, he likely don't give 7 shades of shit about what we think. He's not sorry, he does not feel remorse for the damage done or any of the lives lost, and I would bet he couldn't care less about literally anything. Him making out like he does is literally pissing in our pockets while telling us it's raining. Not really shocking to me, and likely many of you, but you can be sure a bunch of sheep will buy into it, as clearly the idiots in there with him did. Anyway though, that's all for me on this one. There ain't really much more I can take apart or put up with this tosspot. Obviously I want to know what you all think about it, so fire away down in the comment section below, and thanks as always for watching.
That's what I'm really looking for.
Hey. Oh my God, I nearly cried then. There you
So
go,
did
Matt.
I.